Florence Nightingale is credited to documentation and advanced patient care. She also published the first nursing book and opened a school. In 1900 to 1950, her teachings of cleanliness, documentation, and advancement of patient care was continued. During the Middle Ages, the role of nursing fell on family members and churchwomen. In the industrial era, hospitals were dramatically improved. St. Catherine's was the first one-year LPN program that followed the teachings and evidence-based knowledge of Florence Nightingale. Foundation of nursing schools. Clara Barton enforced the idea that nursing needed to be organized in order to provide the best possible care for all patients. The Bellevue School of Nursing was run according to Florence Nightingale's nursing principles. It emphasized strict rules of hygiene and cleanliness and called for trained nurses. The American Society of Superintendents of Training Schools for Nurses revolutionized the guidelines for learning and for proper nursing instruction. Columbia University graduated nearly 9,000 students from their program the year that it was established and was the first nursing school to be recognized by WHO as a collaborating center for international development of nurses and advanced practices. In the late 1800s, the University of Michigan opened their door to nursing students and offered a nursing diploma. In the Army Nursing Corps, nurses were trained in various life-saving techniques and then were able to help soldiers on the battlefield and help prevent the spread of disease. Yale had the highest academic requirement for nurses at the time and offered a Bachelor's of Science for nursing students. History of nursing licensure. Nursing licensure has come a long way. It began with not even requiring any kind of credentials to requiring a certificate of completion, and then requiring a permissive licensure, and then to a mandatory licensure. 1896, American Society of Superintendents of Training Schools for Nurses started. 1901, New Zealand is the first country to require licensure of nurses. 1903, North Carolina becomes the first state in the U.S. to enact permissive licensure for nurses, followed by New Jersey, New York, and Virginia. By 1923, all 48 states enacted permissive licensure laws. 1935, New York passes the first mandatory licensure law in the U.S. This was delayed due to World War II. 1947, New York becomes the first state to enact mandatory licensure laws. In the beginning of the 1900s, very little education was required. Nurses traded their services for small amounts of class time, room and board, and small monetary gain. To meet growing hospital demands, diploma nursing became important. Around 400 training schools opened between 1890 and 1900. Students had 2 to 3 years of training that was clinical-based and very little class time. In 1903, North Carolina was the first to require graduation from a training program, which led to the title of RN. However, the quality of education was not important. The need for nurses increased significantly during and after World War I. In 1905, the Red Cross was founded, and they helped supply the military with nurses. The nursing community continued to struggle throughout World War II. In the 1950s, Mildred Montag proposed to begin educating technical nurses with an associate's degree program in universities. This forever changed the way nurses were educated. In the 1930s, many nurses were forced to look for other professions due to an overabundance of nurses because of fewer cases and fewer private nursing calls. This began the shorter 8-hour workdays to keep more nurses employed. 1900s technology. In the early 1900s, it was normal for surgeries to take place in a theater so that other people could watch. Surgeons would scrub their hands thoroughly and proceed with the surgery, barehanded. Like gloves, masks were obsolete at this time. The American Journal of Nursing was established as a way for nurses to keep up with the newest technology, procedures, and continuing education. Nursing has come so far over the years. Through trial and error, innovative technology, and evidence-based research, and many important historical figures, this has become possible. In the 1900s, nurses were more like caretakers for the elderly and ill. You were to do what the physician or surgeon asked you to do. You had a great deal of cleaning to do. Today, your scope of practice is a very strict guideline for what to do and what not to do. If you go outside your scope of practice, you will answer to the State Board of Nursing.